Day 2 of the Democratic National Convention, we saw Barack Obama speak. He backed in Kamala Harris while slamming Donald Trump. Have a look.
Here's a 78-year-old billionaire who has not stopped whining about his problems since he rode down his golden escalator 9 years ago. It has been a constant stream of gripes and grievances that's actually been getting worse now that he's afraid of losing to Kamala. There's the childish nicknames, the crazy conspiracy theories, this weird obsession with crowd sizes.
I mean, the convention was as much about Trump as anything else, Richo. Not many policies to speak of. And on the Obamas, I got the sense that they had hoped Michelle might run this time, but now, of course, they've thrown their full support behind Kamala.
Well, I think a lot of us, me certainly, would love to have seen her run. I think she's a spectacularly good Polly, even though she's not in politics full time. She certainly knows how to make a speech that's very, very political. And so I think she would have been a tremendous candidate. That having been said, I'm a fan of Harris's. I think she's doing well. I think she'll beat Trump, and I think she'll beat Trump comfortably. And I think that'll just silence a lot of people who have really, I think, gone out after her in a way that I've found quite distasteful.
Well, I think in American politics, nothing's left on the table. People are going after Kamala just as as strong a way as they are going after Trump. But, Michael, there is an issue that, you know, there are concerns about the substance and the policies behind Kamala Harris. What does she stand for? What is her policy platform? Of course, none of this has been developed because she came to the candidacy so late in the piece.
Yeah, it's interesting watching that convention today. I think that audience are just in shock. I mean, I don't think they can believe that Kamala Harris has been competitive and in many polls in front of Donald Trump. I think they all know she's pretty ordinary. She's been a hopeless vice president. She's trying to airbrush Biden out of history as if she wasn't there for the last 3 years. I just think they're totally stunned that the American public have fallen for this sort of three-card trick of, you know, it's great, isn't she, laughing and smiling, it's a new era, etc., etc. I think Trump's support is very deep-seated. There are hard Trump voters. I think a lot of her support is very skin-deep. And while she's in front at the minute, there's the possibility that her campaign will collapse. And what we've seen so far is CNN, the New York Times and MSNBC protect her from this not giving any interviews. Can you imagine a leader here not giving an interview for months? I mean, you wouldn't get away with it in Australia. They've protected her, but even they now are going to have to come to the realisation that she's going to have to give interviews, she's going to have to debate Trump. And once she's out there having to answer questions, I think she's in a world of trouble, because we've all seen her answer questions in the past and it ain't pretty and it ain't deep.
No, I agree. And it's also going to be fascinating what happens with RFK Jr. I'm going to come back to that a bit later in the show with the New York Post reporter. All right, Michael Kroger, Graham Richardson, great to see you as always.